No, this is a smaller list of a competitor analysis that we initially have a look into it and then feature out the items. So on the left, if we could see the list of features that the competitor are available, and then on the right side you could see the list of competitors who are specifically in this particular case. So what we have taken is the competitor analysis, that what we have did is for a domain purchase and domain change of domain and domain purchase. So a website domain is available already in the market, and we have so many market players into it. Now the present company where I am in, it was also planning to have this domain feature to be enabled to the end users. So in this case, they want to have a domain launch project. So in order to do that, it took list of top 10 customers, top 10 players in the market who are into the domain. Okay, uh, the simple case might be. So we list out each and every feature, and we segregate it based upon the scenario. So for each and every scenario, how it looks like, and then find it out who are the for each and every competitor, what are the features that are available. If not available, we leave it as a empty. So you can have your own approach to have it, but this is how the simple way that we do it. Now, on the left, if you could see the feature, right? The feature items that are available. See, buy a domain, recommend domain,
Yes.
multiple domains, SSL security, money back guarantee. Likewise, you have list of items, right? I'm not going to read out the entire thing, but you could see a list of items that are available. Now, this will speak about the importance or the value of your product. We will look into the predominant number of features that entire market players are having in. So based on that, to bring in. So these days you might be always hearing about, whenever we speak about software product or project, always you will be listening. Have an option to listen about that. They say about agile and scrum. Do you? So
Ye-
whenever you see the JD, you could see that the term called agile and Scrum.
yes.
So in 80 to 90% of the product or the project companies now are performing on the agile mode. So when that is the case, so what is the urgency for each and every product or the project company is to deliver their product as a MVP, a minimum viable product that is viewable by a client. Say for example, in the traditional way of approach of project management, what they had is the waterfall model, in which they develop the end product, or they develop the product as a phase to phase. Say in phase one they deliver some 50% of the items, then in phase two 30% of the items, in phase three 20% of the items. This is how the product or the project was delivered. Now when it goes to the customer place, when it goes to the client place, what it happens is now the client comes and complains that these are not the requirements that I have given you. The expected was not delivered to me at the end of the project. Now this is going to cost too much to the software company, because things are already in place and they have invested lot and lot of effort by using their resources in order to build a product or the project. But the agile mode of approach, so this is what the traditional way of approach was happening all these days. But when it comes to agile, we have a shorter sprint. Say, for example, a sprint ranging from a week or 2 weeks up to 4 weeks of shorter sprint. So, end of the each sprint, there will be a MVP that is being delivered, which is a testable and which is a usable product delivered to the client, so that at each and every stage of the, or each and every end of the sprint, the client comes to know this is what it is being built right from the scratch. So when it is being built from the scratch, and if the user has opinion or feedback on the current deliverables that are being provided, the company who is delivering the product can go back and make the changes then and there based on the feedback, record the changes as and when possible quickly, and then make corrections onto the product or the project very easily. So
So
this is
this
how the
happens in
current,
Agile, right?
yeah,
So you told me that like waterfall method, it goes by phase to phase and it's not iterative, right? So like when we like the product is ready, we speak to the end client and all. So
mm,
when his requirement, when the business requirement is not exactly the one which we delivered,
mm.
so in that case, what will happen? Like, will the client be compromised, like to whatever the deliverable is there, or will the process be again from the starting?
It has many terms and conditions on the contract. So it is all set up on the pre-sales team and the sales team that they are making the contract between the software company and the vendor company. If the terms and conditions are very much into it, like the deliverables are not matching the exact requirements that were given, then there are cases, in many cases, where the software companies have shelled out lots and lot of money lost, uh, paying back to the client company or the vendor. So it happens, and as you said, yes, in many cases the software companies try to negotiate the clients in order to say that this is what we have recorded, and these were the requirements that it has been signed off from your end, and based upon the terms that, as you said, you said you confirmed from your end, you have your stakeholders who are signed on the document. So based on that, on top of it, we build this particular requirement. So that requirement is, if you say that it is not meeting, still not meeting, we will try to, once again, if the client is more stubborn on it, then we'll try to negotiate that we ensure that we deliver, these many items in another 1 or 2 months, depending upon the resource availability, to ensure that we try to retain the client so that the client does not go away from the current company.
Okay.
There are many ways. She said it's not only the solution. There are many ways to do that. Uh, uh, there are, it basically depends upon the people who is going for negotiation. Say, for example, in Gulf-based countries, when the project is delivered and the client is not satisfied, now there's the only mode of case is like, when we go for negotiation, we'll try to convince them by saying that, okay, uh, some kind of, miscommunication has happened. We'll try to deliver it, but give us some time. We go for, give us some time. We will deliver it on time, maybe, in the next phases, and then try to negotiate with them. Like we will add some other additional features to them, and stating that these features we have added, which is not at all included in your contract, but still we deliver it because as a gesture, because of the mistake that we have did it. So likewise, the terms and conditions, and then the people who are into the negotiation, and client side who is on the discussion, all these are the influencing factors that is going to work when the deliverables are not met the requirements.
Okay.
So I was speaking about the agile process of means the product development. So
Yeah.
all this particular screen that what you see here, the Excel is a simple research made when your management team says that we need a product to be launched on this particular criteria with a single line of requirement they will give. So from there we need to build the requirement. So that particular phase we call it as a discovery phase of any product. So we are trying to find what type of product, or what is the product that is to be built, so that we also try to launch our product, and then find a few customers into bring in a few customers into the account, and then later on build evolve the product so that we also compete in the market. So first, on the first hand, we need to discover what is the product that we need to provide, and once the type of product or the product that to be provided is finalized, from there we take it upon who are all the market players in that particular product. So then finding out the list of features that the products that are available in the market are having. List out those product features, like the list that what we have in a simple case, as it is going to vary from case to case basis. Then based on this, you develop. So now this is going to be a, for example, buy a new domain. This is one requirement, one of the requirements. So user comes in, any walk-in customer, say for example, I will show you online here. I go to the GoDaddy site. Okay. Now what is the first one? The user wants to buy a domain. So when I go to the GoDaddy site, in order to buy a domain, I just want to say that. So this is what the site that is required or the domain that is required. So if I search, first of all, I should have a search panel in order to search. So once search is done, I could see, what is required from my end is available or not. So if it is available, then it is going to be listed. So if it is listed, then I can go for buying it. So this is what we buy a new domain. Got it?
Okay.
So that is how it goes on. So a simple requirement will be, we will be having a requirement buy a new domain. But internally, if you could see this buy a new domain will have different user stories. So each and every feature will be having a multiple user story or even a single user story depending upon the complexity of the requirement. So these items, what we say here, we say it as a feature. In other instances, we say it as a requirement. In agile terms, we say it as a product backlog items. So it's a, when I say the product backlog items, those are the, from the product owner or a product manager perspective point of view, those are the features that needs to be added to the product that brings in more value to the product. So this keeps on evolving. The product backlog items, shortly called as PBI, these product backlog items keeps on evolving, day-to-day basis or a weekly basis, depending upon the new features that are coming into the market. So I keep adding the backlog items. I will have a list of items that are available. Then I will try to prioritize the items. Then I will try to include these priority items into the one sprint, current sprint. Then the next list of priority items in the next sprint, and follow on, means and go on. So this is how the product backlog items are prioritized, and then we reconcile the items depending upon the need and the market value, and then try to impose into each and every sprint depending upon the need. So in this case, why we have selected buying a new domain as one of the high priority item, for example, can you say? I say that when I have a product that should go for domain, okay, then I say that buying a new domain is going to be a most important feature. So how it is being prioritized is, the reason is, from the name of the product itself, it is going to serve the need of allowing the user to purchase a domain. So obviously, when a user comes to your product, to play around, what he is obviously going to look for, the user wants to search a domain, ensure that the search domain is available, and if available, what is the next